Richard, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Okay, so for the rookie, you play Officer Gray. Tell me a little bit about him.
Officer Gray is a caring, he's old school. He is someone who is passionate about his people. He's passionate about the job. He thinks it's a calling from God, actually, that he's this particular person. And he is just focused. He's focused on getting the right people out there to do a good job every day.
So why is Officer Gray so against Nolan being a part of the police department?
Because he is focused on getting the right people out there every day. You know, Officer Gray, Gray feels that he is maybe a little too old, has too many life experiences. Not in a bad way. I'm the same age as he is. But the point is, I grew up in the LAPD. He grew up doing construction. And sometimes when you have so much baggage and so much perspective because you have a life perspective, you come into situations that you think you would do in this situation, but you don't do that as a police officer. As a police officer, you have a protocol to go, and I'm worried that he might not embrace it right away because he's older, because he's going to question authority in that sense.
That's completely understandable. So tell me, if you were a real cop out on the streets, what's one thing that you would do differently?
If I was a real cop out on the streets, wow, what would I do differently? I would drive a lot faster, because I see cops go.
So would I.
Yeah, all the time. I'm like, okay, so obviously you got a right to drive faster. So I would drive a lot faster. You mean differently for me or differently for police officers?
Differently for police officers. Like if you had the job role that you have right now in the show, like what would you do differently for them?
You know, differently, I think, you know, I have nothing but honor and respect for police officers. I think they got the toughest job in the world. To policing people that aren't really wanting to be police is kind of like babysitting a bunch of kids that don't want a babysitter. So, you know, I don't want to say I would do anything different because I haven't lived that life. You know, the police officers I have spoken to, I couldn't imagine living their lives because it is it is so terrifying. Every day, you know, it's you and your partner, and you're like in Afghanistan in a sense. And so I don't know what I would do differently. I would just hope I would make it.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Now I want to know, what is your advice that you would tell somebody that is a walking midlife crisis?
Okay. My advice to somebody walking in a walk of a midlife crisis is just stop and remember you're alive. And today's a new day. Everything is old, and this day is new. So everything goes up from here. So I think a midlife crisis is you're so worried that you're getting old, but age is a good thing. There's so many people who hasn't made it to your age. You know, I always tell people in midlife, I was like, what are you talking about? I got so many friends who didn't make it to 25. So I'm so happy to be 46 because it's a blessing, and we need to embrace it, and you need to understand you're at this age so you can give back to younger. So just embrace where you are and know that this is a day for you to start giving back. Take your mind off yourself.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Richard. Nice meeting you.